importance of reading to your kids. We'll introduce you to the authors of 2 new children's books out this Christmas.
This is the Emmy Award-winning 11 News Close-Up with your host, Marvin Scott.
When we return, we'll change the subject from hate to love. Love of books and their impact on children. We'll be right back. As the lyrics from the musical South Pacific proclaim, you've got to be taught to hate and fear. You've got to be taught year to year. Just as hatred can be learned, as we discussed in the previous segment, so can understanding and love. Much of that through reading. Reading as a child. Educators note that children introduced to reading early on tend to excel in school compared to children who are not exposed to language and books at a young age. My next 2 guests are authors of books designed to help children deal with the realities of life in quite an entertaining way. Cynthia Bardes and her children's pet detective series, Pansy the Poodle, carries the universal message that you're never too small to make a difference. She's in New York this weekend to promote her 4th edition of her popular series. Her latest title is Pansy in New York, promoting it at Bergdorf to Goodman. Now, Jenna Nixon has a love of animals. She has worked extensively with children's groups, utilizing the therapeutic powers of human animals and the connections. And she also works the Lucky Orphans Horse Rescue in Dover's Plains in upstate New York. And she's the new author of this book, Finding Monty, a children's book that carries the message of love yourself for who you are. So good to have you, and it's a nice thing to have at Christmas time. You both deliver very important messages for children. Let's start with you, Cynthia. I know it started with an accident back in 2009 you had, and while you were recovering from that, you got the idea for Pansy, which is your toy poodle, yes. And you've done 4 books for children. Tell us what's the basic message that your book delivers?
The basic message Pansy delivers is, as you mentioned, you're never too small to make a difference. And this little toy poodle goes through 4 adventures finding objects that have been stolen or an animal that has been missing. And it tries to teach children to use their curiosity, stick-to-itiveness, and Pansy's constant companion is a little girl named Avery, named after my granddaughter, who adopted Pansy, as I did, and looked at her face, and we both thought her face looks exactly like a pansy, hence her name. So Pansy has been given love and is now giving love to the people she helps find their missing items or their favorite pets.
And helping, it's a bit of a travelogue too, because each of your book has a different locale.
It is.
Your newest is New York, but you've been to Paris, Venice, where else?
We're going to London next year. The illustrator, Virginia Best, is halfway through it. We'll be at Selfridges in London. And the research is very important in these books. The landmarks in New York, including Bergdorf windows, the Statue of Liberty, Broadway, is all very true to life. So a child can look and recognize and perhaps take a trip. Paris and Venice are the same.
All right. They're geared to children, but yours, Jenna, is a different book. Finding Monty. First, I should say, Monty was your lovable German Shepherd who you lost last year. So this book is dedicated to Monty.
It is.
Tell us about Finding Monty. It comes out in hardcover December 20th, right?
Yes, yes it does.
But right now we have a soft cover and, very well illustrated. Tell us about it.
Not illustrated by me, by a man named Charles Burton off of Long Island. Finding Monty is about our family German Shepherd, or written after our family German Shepherd. He was a great dog. He had a lot of quirks. He was also named after my mother's family name, Monty, who coincidentally, or maybe not so coincidentally, has a lot of quirks themselves. And by quirks, I think I just mean really distinct personality traits. There's no sugarcoating in the family. It's really just genuine people. They are who they are, and that's the way it is.
So what's the message you deliver?
So the message is basically just that. I'm trying to teach children to really just be comfortable with who they are, to understand that everybody is made the way that they were made for a reason. as the book says, that reason is nothing short of beautiful. So really just trying to get children to be comfortable with who they are, to love themselves for who they are, and to be able to, I guess, see that in, a bigger light.
Now, yours are geared for children. What's the age range?
Young children, so I would say probably 3 to 7, 3 to 8 years old.
And Cynthia?
3 to 7.
Also.
But 2-year-olds react because each cover has a dog. So if I'm doing a book signing and there's a little 2-year-old, one just jumped on my lap at Bergdorf, said, read, because they see the dog. And the pictures are quite detailed as a teaching tool for young children and for adults.
That's very key, teaching tool. And that's what these books are really about, because it's been determined that children who read early really excel later on in life. Not only having the child read, but having people read to them. So the illustrations in your book, Jenna, they're very important because it helps a child develop those skills for language and understanding and just the brain function.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, the book itself is very simple. It definitely can be used as a teaching tool to teach children how to read. And like you said, the illustrations go along with that. There's not much writing on each page. The illustrations really just mimic exactly what it says. So it's definitely a good tool to teach younger children how to read.
Now, yours too, you were telling me earlier, that also not a bad idea for adults to read this.
No,
as
and
well.
an interesting experience. I gave a talk to the Literacy Society, an adult society in Florida, and they used the books with adults who were unable to read and had never learned how to read because there were so many objects that were identifiable by sight, and they learned a great vocabulary. At the same time, a little 5-year-old Hispanic girl was given the book last year, and her mother told me she loved it so much she memorized it and learned every word, and her English has greatly. So
Wonderful.
Whatever a child finds in a book, be it a picture or words, or in Pansy's case, mostly the mystery, it helps them.
It helps them to develop their learning and education
And their
and vocabulary
love
skills.
for children that are on the 4th Pansy book, they can't wait to come back for it. And even if they're older, they'll say to me, now I can read it myself.
I want to ask Jenna, because you use therapy dogs.
Yes.
Ford, the therapy dog
Yes.
who you work with. How does that work and interact with people?
Well, I think, there are times that that I do use animals in structured therapy sessions. Ford is actually just my pet. He's Monty's brother, who I take with me to a lot of readings. So I will read Finding Monty to children, children's libraries, schools, charity events, and Ford comes with me. And I think it's really nice. The children react, wonderfully every time. They really get excited to see the dog. He's a big thing, and he just makes everybody happy. And I think, the simplicity of the book and just the dog being there really, really is a nice touch.
And I like the message you have at the end of your book, a message from the author. Love yourself for who you are. You were made this way for a reason, and that reason is nothing short of beautiful. That is a nice message.
Yeah.
Now, where can people get your book?
Well, right now we're selling it just through the website, www.findingmonty.com. There's actually a link through the website that you can purchase it for sale on Amazon. So right now, just solely online. As of December 20th, the hardcover will come out, and that will be available on the website as well. And then we'll sort of take it from there and try to push it into local stores and other
Cynthia,
bookstores.
where can folks get your book?
Any independent bookstore, Bergdorf Goodman, and my website, pansythepoodle.com.
And at the end of the show, Morris said, Pansy, you are the smartest and best dog in the world. Can we be the best friends forever? Stay tuned. Okay. Cynthia Bardes and Jenna Nixon, thank you so much. Have a terrific holiday.
You
Thank
too.
you. You too,
Thank you.
And that'll do it for our program this week. If you have any comments or wish to see this broadcast again, log on to our website, pix11.com/newscloseup. I'm Marvin Scott. Thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone.